Most leaders don't fail because they're unskilled. They don't fail because they're lazy. And they don't even fail because they don't care. They fail is because they never got clear. Now, I know that can be uncomfortable to hear because clarity sounds so simple. But clarity is not obvious. Clarity is actually built. If you have ever felt busy but stuck, if you've ever worked very hard but wondered, like, where did the momentum go? It just disappeared. And if you've ever asked yourself, why does this feel heavier than it should? Then this episode is for you. You see, because what I'm about to share with you is not motivational, it's actually structural. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's oftentimes what leadership can look like. Your calendars are packed, meetings stacked back to back, teams are moving fast, there's a lot of movement, but the direction feels fuzzy. Decisions even feel heavy, and progress feels slower than it should. So leaders do what seems to be the logical thing to do. They work harder, they add more meetings, and they chase strategy. But strategy doesn't fix confusion. It actually multiplies it. Because here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. That is, speed without clarity is just acceleration toward burnout. And I've watched leaders do this for years, and good people, even faith-driven people, talented people, but they just started in the wrong place. See, most leaders start with this question: what should we do next? Man, that feels responsible. It even feels productive and kind of feels like leadership. I'm being the leader that I'm supposed to be. But the reality is, it's the wrong question. Throughout Scripture, even in the Bible, God never sends people before shaping their identity. I mean, look at Moses. Before Moses led, he had to wrestle with who he is. And even before David ruled, he was formed in obscurity. And before the disciples would even go out and to act on and be sent out in the New Testament, they learn who they're becoming. I believe this concept is this: identity always comes first if you want to be a sustainable and impactful leader. When leaders skip identity and jump straight into the execution, three things kind of happen. Their team loses trust. Decisions are going to feel reactive, and burnout just becomes inevitable. It's not because they don't care. It's not because they don't care about their people. And it's just because they're building without a blueprint. So I want to share with you a framework that I use with leaders and teams. It's not because it's clever. It's because it works. And it's called Reveal, Reframe, Realign. See, everything that you are struggling with as a leader and as a team fits somewhere inside these three words. And so I want us to walk through this slowly so that you can understand. So let's talk about reveal. What does this really mean? This simply means that it's all about truth and having the courage to name the reality. It's not opinions, it's not excuses, not what you hope is true. It's what's actually happening. You see, most leaders avoid this step. And it can feel a little uncomfortable because truth, for some people, feels threatening. Truth is never the enemy, though. That's what we must understand. It's actually avoiding the truth that is the real enemy. See, if you do not have healthy feedback loops in your organization or with your team, then you're going to always be avoiding the truth and how your team is really feeling and responding. Say, when leaders refuse to reveal the reality, teams feel it immediately. Silence grows. Tension is going to rise, and the thing that you want the most, clarity, it's like a vapor and it just disappears. You see, I've watched organizations spend months on end solving the wrong problem simply because no one was willing to name the real one. Here's the bottom line. Reveal is where clarity begins. So don't shy away from actually naming the very thing that you need to be dealing with. Once the truth is revealed, something deeper has to shift, and that is belief. And that's where this idea of reframe comes into play. Because leadership is not driven by what you know, it's driven by what you believe. Because if you believe that you're behind, then you are going to lead in panic mode. If you believe that everything depends upon you, then you're probably going to be a micromanager. And if you believe rest is a weakness, then burnout is going to be guaranteed. Because here's the bottom line is this. Belief shapes behavior. You say, what do you mean by that? If you believe that I can't do this, it's going to show up and you're not going to do it. For instance, I heard a statement from Matthew McConaughey, of all people, where he was not allowed to or strongly discouraged and probably disciplined when he would say the words, I can't. And it sends with it this belief, that a limiting belief, that you can't overcome. And so he was always encouraged when he was growing up. His dad would say, we don't say I can't. We simply say, hey, I'm struggling with this and can use some help. Why is that a reframing of that important? Simply because if I believe that I can't do something, then the behavior is going to follow that belief. But if you believe that we can work through the problems, we can get clarity, we can do this, it will change the behavior, which leads to the next thing is that behavior then shapes your culture. What do high performing teams have in common? They have in common is this fact that they have this belief that we can overcome this. We will figure this out. We will get better. And what does that do is it creates this culture, that people want to be a part of, that, man, they get things done. They can barrel through the obstacles. Why? Not because they have some superpower. It's simply because they have a belief that is shaping their behavior, which has now shaped their culture. You may say, well, I don't have a culture in my team. Oh, yes, you do. A culture is basically just the sum of the actions of you and those that work around you. So it's either positive, it's negative, it's either a growth mindset, fixed mindset, and those beliefs are shaping the behavior, which is shaping your culture. And the final thing there is culture shapes results. So you may be saying, well, I'm not getting any results with my team. Well, let's just look at what is your culture like? What is the behavior shaping that culture? And what are the beliefs that are being allowed and that are in that culture that is affecting the behavior, which shaping the culture, which is obviously going to affect your results. See, looking to the scriptures, it even says this, that transformation doesn't come by just, I'm going to hustle harder. It comes by the renewing of our mind, not by more effort, but by new perspective. So when we have revealed the truth, reframing the belief is where leaders then stop reacting and they start leading. Now, the final step in this three-step process is simply realign. And this is where systems can finally work. See, it's only after identity and belief are clear that strategy can actually work. This is where rhythms matter. This is where priorities matter. This is where the systems in your operations finally stick. You see, aligned leaders don't move faster immediately. They move cleaner. And over time, clean execution is what compounds. And this is what creates sustainable leadership. And this is how teams win. without burning out. So it comes back to revealing the truth. And if you are afraid and avoiding dealing with the real problem that you know, it is going to cause issues and hold you back. But once you reveal the truth and reveal the reality, then you can go into the step of reframing it and working through that to eventually realign everything around the new identity and knowing that this is how we can move forward. So here's what I want you to do today. Very, very quick and easy is take out a piece of paper and write 3 lines. What's true right now? What's broken right now? And what's missing right now? Now, don't fix it. Don't try to justify it and make excuses for it. Just simply name it. Because clarity doesn't require answers at first. It simply requires honesty. Hey, if this is connected with you today, you can download a clarity toolkit in the comments there or link in the link below. And it's kind of just a very simple 10-minute reset that could help you or perhaps your team to get a little more clarity as you go into this next season. And hey, if you're building a life in a team or an organization that matters and you're still feel like you're caught up in the fog and in the confusion and things are still feeling fuzzy, you can also check out a 90-day leadership sprint where I can come in and work with you for 90 days to really help you get the clarity and the identity and the clarity that you need to move forward, to scale and to grow and to have clarity moving forward. And so I'm here to help you to live and lead with clarity, with purpose, and on mission.